Okay, I'm gonna stop spamming your uploads feed after this one. But I got one more thing to talk about. And I saved this for the end because I'm gonna use all the cards that I got from all of the figures, douche, and you can't see them up there. But this is the American Cross Loader, Fusion Loader, whatever you want to call it. I did not realize how top heavy this thing was. So, no, this is nothing like the Japanese one. This is nothing like these. Yes, I still have these. And if I can get a watch battery, I think these things still work. But these were like little virtual pet adventure things. Uh, shake them, they walk, and you'll run into Digimon. You get to a certain point, you can Digivolve further, all that stuff. That's what these were. This is nothing like that. I know that the Japanese cross-loader is like that, and it looks a lot more show accurate than this does, but functionality-wise, this is more of a cross-loader than the Japanese one is. So, what does this thing do anyway? Well, first let me turn it on. Nothing. Exciting. Speakers up here. There's no, like, holes in the thing to let the sounds come out. Like, oh, shut up. Like this thing. See? Speaker's right there. There's nothing like that to indicate where the speaker is up here. It's just, it comes out of the top. That's why this thing is so top heavy. So what is the point of this? What's up with this stuff? Well, that's where these come in. These are the cards. I have each and every one of them here from the toys that I've gotten. This thing comes with 5, and then each figure comes with 1 card. These cards are used for the cross loader. That's all I got so far. So let me take Shoutmon's card here. This is card number 1, DF001. Each card has a number. That's what the back of them looks like, in case you're curious. So what you do is that you just slide it in here. There's this little button up here that when you slide a card in, the card presses the button, and it lets the thing know that there is a card inside of it. That ba-ding, obviously. So I don't know if you could see it here on the card, but those little yellow dots are the buttons for the code underneath. Oh, shut up. You see those things? Those are buttons. This is all a big touch screen if you haven't been able to... Oh, shut up. And the numbers on here indicate which buttons to press on this to get the sound of the card. You can just... These are this is digicode, by the way. Thing that's been on like the gray sword for Omnimon and the stuff circling the screen on the original Digivice Adventure. You can just randomly press buttons and figure out what's what, or you can put the card in and just tap it through the card. So as you can see here, the code is 1, let me see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's gonna be kind of hard for me to show this up front, so let me kind of move up here like this so I can. Okay, so you just press. Okay, this is awkward. Seeing how I don't do like most toy reviewers do, and I kind of have the camera like this. So just work with me here. This is gonna be a bit tough. So I'll speak like this and I'll move over here so I can put this up here and do it. So what you need to do is to press the little DF thing in the center to start it. So now it's ready for you to input. Right. Now it's ready for you to input the digicode. So let me do that real quick. intense, isn't it? So it does that for every card. You just input the code and it reads off the card. Now you can see here on the side, well, you can't see it, but you see what I'm talking about, those little black stripes. Those tell you what all you can cross, fuse, whatever this thing with. So if you have other cards that go along with it, it says Ballistamon, Dorulumon, and Starmon. So let me just grab a Ballistamon card, DF14 if you want the number, a Dorulumon card, DF17, and the Starmon's card, DF18. And you have to do these in a specific order. So Ballistamon would be next. So how you do this, now that you've inputted the code for Shoutmon, oops. Okay. Now you take the card out, you put your thumb down here in the bottom part because it's easier to do it that way. And now you just slip Ballistamon's card in. And then put in Ballistamon's code. So now we have cross 2. What if you want to do cross 3? Take the Rulumon, input his code, now we have cross 3. And one more time because we still have Starmon's card. Take Starmon. It's a bit difficult to get these cards in sometimes, so just put in his code. Now we have cross 4. Sparrowmon doesn't have a card yet, so you can't make cross 5. But that's basically how this thing works. Now, if you put different random buttons on here, you'll get certain things. One of these Shoutmon cards, I think it was the one that came with the fusion loader. If you put his number in backwards, you get cross 5. Let me experiment with that. But there are other things you can do here. So let me pull his card out. Do that to kind of reset the noises. So let me see if I got this right. So his card is 1, 2, 3, 4. If I put it in backwards, I should get cross 5. So if you want to BS your way to cross 5, there you go, until he gets a card or Sparrowmon's card gets released at some point. So we also have, that was, in case you're wondering, DF4. This one comes with the loader itself. Here is Shoutmon's Star Sword. This is the only way I know you can get this, because for some reason, whenever I put Shoutmon and Starmon together, it doesn't read it. Let me show you real quick, because this is kind of awkward. And then let me go to Starmon. Oops. Doesn't read it. But it's a card that the crossloader needs. Oh my god, come on. Go figure, huh? You can't cross into it, but it has the name for the form in here. Which is even weirder because you can... But you can do this. drill cannon, Dorulu cannon, whatever you want to call it. You can do that, but you can't do this. And this was used just as much, actually. I don't know why you can't do that. That's basically it. If you want to make Cross 4 and go Dorulumon, Starmon, Ballistamon, Shoutmon, it's not going to work. You have to do it in order. If you want Cross 2, you have to do Shoutmon and then Ballistamon. It's not going to work if you do Ballistamon and then Shoutmon. At least it shouldn't. Let me test that real quick. Because I tried doing... See, and it doesn't give you the DigiFuse option. It doesn't give you the DigiFuse option because you have to start with Shoutmon. So he's basically the center focus of each cross. So here's DF13, DF16, and then we have some blue flare stuff. Greymon, DF28, another Greymon, DF30. This one comes with the loader. Metal Greymon, DF32, and Malberdramon. This one comes with the loader too, DF38. So you can do blue flare stuff. But for some reason, I'll use this Greymon card. I haven't used this one yet. You can, but for some reason it doesn't use Kitty-Ha or Christopher's voice. It uses Taiki's voice. So let's go do Little Greymon. And Malberdramon. Which one's two? Oh, there's two. So there's Metal Greymon. Now hold on, I want to see if Digifusion. Digifusion. So there is an opening for Decker Greymon. But now that makes me curious. If I put in Cross 4 again, where's my Starmon's card? If I get Cross 4 and I press that again, will I get an option to fuse even further for Cross 5? I'm curious now. Let me do that real quick. Oh yeah, if you miss the code and you input the whole thing wrong when you get to Starmon, you'll have to do the whole thing over again. So this thing is actually really touch sensitive. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you don't even have to touch it. You could just it reads, it feels the heat coming off of your fingers sometimes. So yes, you can interrupt him, by the way, in case you really want to get right to a certain cross. Yep. So I want, Cross 4B. I wonder if we'll get Snipemon and Spotamon's card too, so we can make Cross 4 Knight and Cross 4S. And then Sparrowmon we can get Cross 5. And then Cross 5B more than likely. So you can get some really interesting things this way. I want to see if we can get some random sound effects by pressing random buttons. Oh no. You have to have a card in, I think. Yeah. You have to have a card in. Don't know why. Okay, so we got a random blue flare shout out. There's Fusion Fighters, Cross Heart, same idea. Legendary Digimon. I'm going to assume that's Digimemories or Digimon from past seasons like Gilmon, Vmon, Agumon, stuff like, well, Agumon, Vmon, and Gilmon were Digimemories anyway, so, seeing how Cross Wars technically is the 15th anniversary Digimon season, they might be making some of these for older Digimon. I don't know why, because you can't cross them with anything except for Belzamon, but that's a different Belzamon entirely. There's one more phrase on here. I'm trying to find it. That's not it. There's one for Team Midnight, which is Team Twilight, Nene, Dark Nightmon, and it's in Nene's voice. But why Blue Flare stuff isn't in? I'm just gonna say Christopher to stick with the fusion motif. Christopher's voice is beyond me. There you go. Let me do that again in case you didn't hear it. Yeah, that's Rika, by the way. So that's all the sounds I've been able to find. I don't think you can get Cross 4B, Cross 4K, Cross 4S, or Decker Greymons on here just by punching in random codes. And if you have, let me know because I want to hear the different sounds now. Or a Sparrowmon's number, or Decker Dramon's noise, or whatever, or Bilzelbamon, whatever you want to call them. Because I haven't been able to find their sounds in here yet. So I'll just have to wait until the cards come out before we get to those. So, I'll admit, yeah, this thing, let me turn this off. I'm going to turn this thing off and leave this card in here. Yeah, I'll admit, this thing does look kind of derpy for a cross-loader. But I honestly enjoy this thing. And plus, if you're going to end up getting... eh, that was disgusting. If you want to end up getting those and these little chibi figures up here, and those little battle action figures which have like one function, you'll see them in the stores with the Cross War stuff. There's a Cross 4 and a Metal Greymon that are like figures, but they have like the Shalmont Cross 4 is like one of those where you rotate the torso and it like flings the arm with the Star Sword and stuff like that. They come with cards also. So you're going to be getting a whole bunch of these cards if you get the toys. And I would recommend getting this thing just to have something to use those cards with. And plus this thing is pretty interesting. It's a fun little thing to mess around with. I mean, it's not this or this, which has a lot of depth to it, and this thing is just fun to have and to mess with, because I like the whole key, Ranger key gimmick. But, I mean, this thing isn't too bad. I mean, it's 20 bucks. It's a lot cheaper than the Legendary Morpher and the Gosei Morpher is. Plus, like I said, you're going to be stacking up on these cards anyway if you get all these figures and chibi figures, and even the blue flare things come with one. I think that's how you get another Greymon and another Malberdramon card. So you're going to be getting a lot of these cards anyway. And this is what you use them for. No, these are not the cards that the trading card game is going to have. They're going to be completely different. I don't think those are going to be able to be used on this. But either way, I do enjoy this thing. Like I got it because it was the only fusion thing that they had at Target that day. And it was like 20 bucks. I was like, oh, that's not too bad. And then I actually started to mess with it, and I actually really enjoyed this thing. I demonstrated it the best I could. I know I'm at a weird camera angle to demonstrate something like this, so it's kind of like, I hope you hear that. But I actually really like this thing. I know I got a couple friends in our Digimon Fans United Facebook page that was like, the thing looks ugly. It doesn't look anything like the real crossloader and stuff. But honestly, it looks good enough, and it does have some pretty interesting sounds. Oh, in case you're wondering, the cross heart logo is on the back here. You can kind of see it with the little checkerboard pattern. So that's real nice. Got the cross heart logo back there. So, I mean, it's only 20 bucks. You're going to need something to do with these cards anyway. So I'd recommend getting this thing just to have it around. It's fun just to make crosses and you hear this thing yell off different Digimon's name and stuff. And with more cards, it'll open up more crosses and it'll bring more functionality to this thing. So I personally would recommend this. Um, it's surprised me actually with how neat with how neat this thing actually turned out to be. Plus, with the amount of fusion toys I'm gonna end up getting, because I'm probably gonna get a whole bunch of figures and stuff, especially for the Cross Heart line. And whenever more of these little chibi figures come out, then I will be collecting a ton of cards, and I'll have a giant pile. Because just off of getting this and those alone, I have. Let me see, how many cards do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I already got 12. That's a pretty big pile. 12. And I mean, it's cheap. It's not too bad. I give it a recommendation. Ketchup's recommendation. I need like one of these. Like someone put like a graphic up here with this thing just spinning around with me doing this, and a little sparkle comes off my tooth, and it says gets Ketchup's thumbs up, just shoots across the screen at like 80 miles an hour or something. I don't have the budget for that. Ding! Okay, that was terrible. I'm sorry. But I really do enjoy it. Even if it doesn't look like the actual in-show crossloader like the Japanese one does, this one does more digi-crossing, crossloader-ish stuff than the actual Japanese one did. So far, the English US line for Fusion slash Cross Wars is starting off really well. Like, I'm enjoying just about everything. The only misstep of the line overall is how Metal Greymon in this turned out. And that's the only big misstep, and it's a real ugly misstep. If you want to see what Metal Greymon looks like, go hunt down Shinken Shinobi's review of these. He shows off both of them, and he's the reason why I got this, because he showed this off, and I fell in love with how Cross 4 turned out. And then I saw Metal Greymon, I was like, yeah, that's not nice. Put the thing away. There are children watching. So, all in all, I'm really enjoying this line. If you're a big fan of Cross Wars like I was, then I would get fully into this, because it's going to be a good toy line. I just hope it lasts. I hope Fusion lasts long enough for us to get most everything, because a Cross 7 in this line, nah. A Cross 7 in this line would look amazing standing behind me like this. Wouldn't it, though? Cross 7. I want it now. Give me. Oh, Bandai of America gods. Please give me. It won't happen, sadly. So that's the end of this 3-video Digimon Fusion toy review extravaganza, if you want to call it that. I will be reviewing just I'll be reviewing new Cross Wars / Fusion stuff whenever they come out, just like I will Super Mega Force and the keys and everything. So toy reviews will be happening along with my other reviews whenever I get around to doing those again. So if you got any questions on any of these figures or this thing or whatever, then feel free to ask. And until then, I am Ketchup, making a mess on your shirt because you put too much on your hot dog. And I will see you guys next time.